Hey everybody, today's May 2nd. The camera in this tablet isn't very good. It's not really good. Anyway, I haven't been in touch in a while. Just have a lot going on. Just a lot. Anyway, my lease is up in July. So the plan is not to renew it. That's the plan. My place is a mess. Anyway, I have to clean my apartment. This is the dilemma. Like way back, a couple of months ago, I had a problem with my car. It was making a noise. I think on my Facebook I posted the noise that it was making. And then I was trying to find a mechanic. That didn't work out. Anyway, today I took it to the guy that I get the oil change at, and he told me it was the, what was it? The fan assembly. Does that mean it's the radiator fan assembly, or is it something else? I don't know. Oh, look. Shit. This is from that black charcoal that you put on your face. It never washes off all the way. Do I have more? Do I have more? Yeah. Maybe. Shit. Anyway. It was the fan assembly. The part was like $350. It's not a cheap part. But if I was to buy it from the dealership, it would have been closer to $6. So I thought I'd be saving money by buying it on my own, right? Big mistake. Big mistake. Anyway, I went to O'Reilly's and I bought the part and they installed it, and I thought everything was great. I thought I paid a lot of money. I saved about $200 buying the part myself, and I thought everything was great. Anyway, I started driving the car, and at first I didn't notice it. Then, as time went on, I started to notice it more and more. And it felt like the car was louder, you know? And I was like, why is the car louder? I didn't go get it fixed right away. I thought, I was just trying to convince myself it was normal. You know, the way you kind of go back and forth and then life gets in the way and then but then the thing is, like, every time I got in the car, you know, it was there. It was like in your face. And one time, like, it would go mostly in the morning. I'd hear it, like in the cold. And then one time I was dropping mail off at the mailbox at the, the Pacheco mail. And I left the car running and I went in, put the mail in. And when I came out, I really, really, really noticed it. And I thought, yeah, this doesn't sound right. It's not supposed to sound like this. And so, I talked to the people at work and they're like, well, you better go back to them and you better have them look at it. And anyway, I didn't realize, I guess, how much time had gone by. Because I got it done on February 20th and I went back yesterday, which is May 2nd, no, May 1st. And I should have gone back sooner, but I was sick last week. I was sick for like 4 days last week. I had a really bad cold. I had my nose running. I had headaches. My bones were aching, like for 4 days. I couldn't even go to the gym. I couldn't do anything. I was so sick. Anyway, eventually I decided yesterday that I was going to go there, that, I need to find out what's going on. Anyway, I went to the mannequin next to the mall, next to the Santa Fe Place Mall. He was kind of rude, you know. He just was like defensive, saying, well, I said, I've kind of noticed it since I got it fixed. Since it was installed, I started noticing. And then the guy was like, well, why didn't you bring it back if you started noticing? I said, because, I thought it was normal. And then I was trying to convince myself it was normal. And I said, maybe it didn't do anything for the first couple of weeks. And then I said, well, maybe it was after the first couple of weeks that I started noticing more and more. And anyway, he got really, really defensive and really rude and said, well, maybe you hit something. He said, I'm going to check the mileage. I said, well, I never hit anything and you can check the mileage. I didn't go anywhere. And anyway, he put it up on the thing, I guess, to look at it. And then he called me like an hour later and he goes, it's the fan. And I said, the fan that I installed? He goes, yeah, it's the fan. And I said, what do you mean it's the fan? And he goes, the fan doesn't shut off. He goes, the fan's defective. And I was like, so what do I do now? He goes, well, you're going to have to pay to reinstall it. And this was back in February that I got the car, had it installed. And I'm thinking, if it's defective, who pays for it? Like O'Reilly's? Because that's where I bought the part. It was like $350 plus tax. And anyway, the long and the short of it is everybody's passing the buck to somebody else. O'Reilly's is passing the buck to Manakee. Manakee is passing the buck back to Riley's. And then, it's like a tennis match going back and forth. Anyway, I talked to the guy from Manakee, the 800 number, and he said, well, we're going to have to send it back to the manufacturer and they're going to have to do a thorough investigation to find out what's wrong with it. He goes, well, maybe it was installed wrong. Maybe it was hooked up incorrectly. It could be a million things. And I'm like, it could be a million things, or it could be the fact that the fan is defective, like they're saying. Anyway, it's a nightmare, absolute nightmare. I don't recommend anyone buying a fan and having it, go with the damn, even if it costs $200 more, just go with it. Don't deal with saving money, because now it's just a massive headache. And so I'm going to let you know what happens from this forward, because right now I don't know what's going to happen. It's $1,000. I can show you the bill to have it reinstalled. For the part, they charged. Where did I put the bill? Bill's right here. Look at it. You can tell me if this is right or not. And this is what they're doing. And this is the price. Anyway, I'm kind of... And then the guy says, well, you have to get 2 quotes. I can't get 2 quotes because they're going to have to take it out to write a report about what's wrong with it. So I can't go to somebody else to get a report because they're the ones that installed it. So if they're saying that it's infected, I can't get quotes from other people. Anyway, that's what the guy said. Oh, you have to get like 2 quotes. Why do I need to get 2 quotes if he has to take it apart so that he can write, you know, what is it? Write for the labor so that they can submit a labor claim, because they have to take it apart so that they can see what's wrong with it. Anyway, it's a nightmare. Really a nightmare. So